You'd think a man buying land outright, no mortgage, no loans, would have the simple right to access his own property. But apparently that's too much to ask when you're dealing with an HOA run by a power-hungry retiree who thinks she's the queen of suburbia. My name's Luke Morgan. I'm a veteran, rancher, and pretty decent at DIY thanks to years of fixing what the Army couldn't afford to replace. About 3 years ago, I bought a 14-acre plot on the edge of a new upscale development called Golden Meadows. It was mostly raw land, rolling hills, a creek, some hardwood trees, but it was perfect for the small ranch I'd always dreamed of building. Now here's the kicker: my land was legally landlocked. The only access to the main road ran through a gravel path that cut across the edge of Golden Meadows. But when I purchased the land, the title clearly included a recorded easement, legal access granted decades ago when the ranches here were first subdivided. No one said a word for the first year while I built a small home, some fencing, and got my livestock settled in. I waved to neighbors, kept to myself, and paid for the road maintenance just like everyone else. Then came Patricia Clark, the newly elected president of the HOA and self-proclaimed protector of community standards. She first introduced herself by leaving a notice on my fence. Non-residents are not permitted to use Golden Meadows private roads. Future trespassing will be reported to law enforcement. I figured it was a mistake. Maybe she didn't know about the easement. So I emailed her a copy of the survey and deed showing my legal access. Her reply? A single sentence. This matter will be handled by the HOA legal counsel. Cease use of the road immediately. Cease using the only road to my home? Was I supposed to airlift hay bales now? I tried calling. No answer. I showed up at the HOA office. The door was locked during business hours. I left messages, emails, even certified mail. Nothing. 2 weeks later, I came home from the feed store to find a brand new metal fence installed across the gravel path, complete with a keypad-controlled gate. A smug little sign on it read, Golden Meadows Private Road, Residents Only. My jaw clenched as I parked and walked the remaining quarter mile to my house. The message was clear. I was being boxed out. They thought I'd roll over. But they underestimated one thing: I don't bluff, and I don't back down when someone tries to steal what's rightfully mine. Underscore 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 underscore. The next morning, I called Olivia Sanders, a local land use attorney I'd worked with briefly during the purchase. She took one look at the easement documents and said, "They can't do this. But proving it might take time. HOAs love dragging things out." While Olivia began drafting a cease and desist letter, I started documenting everything. I took high-res photos of the gate's placement, recorded myself explaining the situation, and even used a drone to get aerial footage. Then I got my friend Ryan involved, an old Army buddy who now worked as a land surveyor. Ryan came by the following weekend with his gear and a folder of county maps. "They fenced about 10 feet into your property here," he said, pointing to the screen. "And they built that gate on your land. Not even near the easement line." That was the spark. "They thought I wouldn't notice," I said, arms crossed. "Or they figured you wouldn't know what to do if you did," Ryan added, pulling a toothpick from his mouth. But I did know what to do. And I had the perfect plan, one they would never see coming. My background isn't just ranching. I spent years in the military specializing in field engineering and automation. I'd built electronic systems in war zones with nothing but scrap wire and grit. A toll booth. That would be child's play. "If they want to treat the road like private property," I told Ryan, "then I'll treat mine the same. I'm going to install a toll booth right next to their gate." He laughed so hard he nearly dropped his coffee. "You're serious?" "Dead serious." We spent the next 3 days drawing up a blueprint. I used CD software to design a small operator booth, a solar-powered payment system, and a hydraulic barrier arm I could raise or lower with a keypad or mobile app. Ryan reviewed every inch of the property survey to make sure we were 100% inside my legal boundary. "You're going to want this bulletproof," he said. "Once they figure out what you're doing, they'll try everything to shut it down." I nodded. Let them try. We worked through the weekend, making trips to lumber yards, electronics suppliers, and a specialty print shop for official-looking signage. By Sunday night, we were ready. Underscore 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 underscore. Construction began under floodlights that Monday evening. Ryan brought 2 of his most trusted crewmen, and I called in a favor from Mike, an electrician I'd known since high school. The sounds of drills and hammers echoed through the evening air. A few cars slowed to watch, but no one stopped. Patricia and her cronies must have thought I was building a shed or something harmless. They were wrong. We built the booth sturdy, a steel frame with wood siding and a sliding window. The roof had 2 solar panels mounted flush. Inside, I installed a Raspberry Pi system that handled payments, receipts, and even uploaded footage from the motion sensor cameras to cloud storage. By Tuesday morning, a fresh sign gleamed in the sun. Private access toll, $20 per vehicle. Monthly pass, $100. Card, cash, or mobile pay accepted. And below it, in bold red, "Failure to pay is a trespassing violation under Texas Property Code Section 30.05. I even had an official-looking receipt printer. Every payment came with a barcode, date time stamp, and a map of the easement boundary. Just before noon, the first car approached, an SUV with a Golden Meadows sticker on the windshield. The driver stared confused, as the barrier arm stayed firmly down. I stepped out in a button-up shirt and clean jeans, clipboard in hand. "Good afternoon. This section of road crosses private property. There's a toll of $20 or $100 for a monthly pass. You can pay here or via the QR code." The woman in the car looked stunned. "What? This is our road." "Actually, ma'am, this portion is on my land. Your HOA chose to block my legal access, so I've installed my own access control system. If you're going to treat the road like a business, so am I." Some drivers were furious. Others chuckled and paid. Most just wanted to get home. Within a few hours, I'd collected nearly $300. By that evening, Patricia showed up. Her Mercedes screeched to a stop at the gate. She rolled down her window, mouth agape. "What is the meaning of this?" she snapped. "Just enforcing my property rights," I said coolly. "Same as you did when you installed that gate. This is extortion. You can't do this. I'm standing on my property. And here's the survey to prove it," I replied, holding up the laminated map taped to the booth. "I'm calling Maxwell. Maxwell Scott, the HOA's legal advisor. Retired corporate attorney turned full-time neighborhood tyrant." Great. Sure enough, 30 minutes later, Maxwell arrived in a navy BMW, stepping out in loafers and a face full of fury. "You think you're clever, huh?" he barked. "No, I think I'm legal. This is harassment." "No, Mr. Scott. It's a toll road." He tried to argue, waving a manila folder and demanding I remove the booth immediately. I calmly invited him to review the survey, showed him the easement, and explained that my setup was fully documented and already shared with local law enforcement. Within 20 minutes, 2 sheriff deputies showed up. I greeted them with a smile and handed them a binder with all the documents, surveys, easement records, and video footage of the gate being installed on my property. After reviewing everything, Deputy Harris turned to Maxwell. "Sir, this looks like a civil matter. The property line supports Mr. Morgan's claim. If you disagree, you'll need to take it up in court." Maxwell was livid. Patricia fumed. And I? I just leaned back against the booth and smiled. The war had begun. Want part 2? Let me know, and I'll deliver the rest of the story, where things escalate even further, secrets get exposed, and justice is served Texas style.